Good day. I am Interactionist. I am 19 years old, studying at Agusan del Sur State College of Agriculture and Technology. In this video, together with my partner Jeramel Borday, we will tackle about C3, the Interactionist theory, Contextual. So let's start. Interactionist theory, Contextual. So who is the proponent of this theory? So the proponent of this theory is Yuri Bronfenbrenner. He is the author of this theory, Interactionist theory, Contextual. First, who is Yuri Bronfenbrenner? So he was the Russian-born American psychologist who is most known for his ecological system theory. So his work with the United States government helped in the formation of the Head Start program in 1965. So Bronfenbrenner's model is also known as bioecological system theory, presents child development within the context of relationship systems that comprise the child's environment. So he proposed this model to show that regardless of the child's environment, the child's interaction with his family will shape who he is. Or we can say that child's development through his family's teachings method, so through which the child might learn something new for his development as a child. Okay, let's proceed. So Bronfenbrenner's bioecological model structure of environment. So the first one is the microsystems. It is the layer nearest the child. It comprises structure which the child directly interacts with. So it includes structures such as one's family, school, and neighborhood. It covers the most basic relationship and interactions that a child has his or her immediate environment. In this layer, the relationship effects happen in two directions, either both away from the child and towards the child. Okay, so which means that the structures that the child is part of, such as his or her family, friends, neighbors, school, and even their community, are places where the child can communicate directly with those who can influence him or her. So it encompasses the most fundamental interaction and relationships that the child has or her immediate surroundings. So the relationship impacts according to direction. So both away from the child and towards the child. So let's proceed. Here is the example. So the child is affected by behavior and beliefs of the parents. However, the child is also affects the behavior and beliefs of the parents. So Bronfenbrenner calls this bidirectional influence, and he shows how they occur among all levels of environment, since there are two directions that was being presented here. So that is called bidirectional influence. So let's proceed to another system. So the second one is the mesosystem. So this layer serves as the relationships between two or more microsystems, such as what is learned at home culturally. So they are called connections, right? So it means, so that is in this layer, the child will learn from his or her parents. So or her parents, what they have shared about their culture at home. So and as a result, so the child will adapt it and develop in accordance with what she or he heard from his parents and done by his or her parent. So here is the example. So interaction between the parents and teachers, or the parent and health services, or the community and the church. So there is connection. So the third one is the exosystem. So in this layer refers to a bigger social system in which the child does not function directly. They are called indirect environment. So this includes the city government, the workplace, and the mass media. So the structures in this layer may influence the child's development. So by somehow affecting some structure in the child's microsystem, this includes the circumstances of the parents' work, like the location and schedules. So the child in this layer doesn't easily function in teaching that he or she learned from. So as a result, so this is referred to as the indirect environment. Nevertheless, this would have an impact on the child's development if both parents work. They would be unable to fulfill their responsibilities for their child's growth due to their work schedule and location. So it is important that the parents will guide them, or the parents' workplace should near by their house. So for example, that a woman get a promotion at work, which means more travel and time. So at corporate conferences, as a result, her partner has to spend more time at home caring for the children, and the children have fewer opportunities to interact with their mother. So the partner and the children have no contact with the woman's work setting. So bad decisions would make them an impact on their lives. So that's it. So another one, the system macro system. So in this layer is found in the outermost part in the child's environment. So it includes the cultural values, customs, and laws. So the belief system contained in one's microsystem permits all the interactions in the other layers and enriches the individual. So which means it refers to the culture society that frames the structure and relationship among the systems. So the example of that, the microsystem is exemplified by the culture that our children or their children acquire children's identities. So beliefs and perceptions are influenced by customs and social behaviors. Children who grew up in affluent family develop differently than children who grew up in poverty. So example of that, another example, in Western countries like the US, most of the young people are expected to be more independent by the time they enter teenage years. So while in Asian countries like ours, parents are expected to support, or at least want to support their children for a longer period of time. So even if their child is already married, so the parents continue to support their daughter or son despite the fact that they have their own family or they have their own work, so they're still supporting each other. So the next system would be discussed by my partner, Mr. Jeremiel Porday. And that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.
So good day everyone, I am Jeremiel Borday and I am here to discuss and continue about our topic, the interactionist theory, contextual. So the next system is the chrono system. The chrono system, it covers the element of time as it relates to a child's environment. This involves patterns of stability and change in the child's life. This involves whether the child's day is characterized by an orderly, predictable pattern, or whether the child is subjected to sudden changes in routine. So the chrono system. The chrono system considers how and when major events occur and how the timing of these events can influence a person's life. So example of chrono systems. The birth of a new sibling with the child is 8 years old. The separation and the remarriage of the child's parents to other people when the child is a teenager. The child being diagnosed with leukemia at age 4 and moving to a new state when the child is 10 years old. So the next topic I will discuss is about the role of schools and teachers. So the instability and unpredictability of family life is the most destructive force to a child's development. Researchers tells us that the absence or lack of children's constant manual interaction with important adults has negative effects on their environment. Bronfenbrenner's theory reminds the school and teachers of their very important role. So the role of schools and teachers. So teachers, the function of teachers is to help students learn by imparting knowledge to them and by setting up a situation in which students can and will learn effectively. But teachers fill a complex set of roles which vary from the society to another and from one educational level to another. So the Bronfenbrenner's theory is very important for teachers. It is very important to teachers to understand because it allows the educator to build fundamental relationships with their students and create a communication-rich classroom that involves the parents. Bronfenbrenner believes that the primary relationships need to be with someone who can provide a sense of caring that is meant to last a lifetime. So this relationship must be fostered by a person or people within the immediate sphere of the child's influence. So I will discuss the illustration of Bronfenbrenner's bioecological model. So the Bronfenbrenner's bioecological model divided into 5 different systems. The first is the microsystem. It belongs to the immediate family, neighborhood, and the school. The second system is the mesosystem. In this system belongs the connection between family, neighborhood, and school. The third is the exosystem. This system happens and exists the economic system, education system, and government agencies. The fourth system is the macro system. It involves the social values, cultural values, customs, and beliefs. And the last system is the chronosystem. It is involving and happens the changing over time, historical events, biological changes, and physiological changes. So that's all for our discussions about the interactionist theory, contextual. Thank you for watching.